Hi, this is Jeannie from Paws Acupuncture, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about feeding your dog brown rice versus white rice. Now, let me just make this clear once again. This is from my own personal opinion and experience with my patients and my own dogs. There are some dogs, especially when they get older or they're sick, need some rice in their diet, and I'll go on to explain this in a bit. If you're not comfortable with feeding your dog rice, then please don't do it. There are some differences between white rice and brown rice. Not all dogs should eat rice. Make sure your dog is not allergic to it. My own dog, Kuan Yin, was actually allergic to it, which is very odd. She was also allergic to chicken. However, my German Shepherd Merlin was not allergic to it. So you kind of have to play around and see if allergy symptoms pop up if you start feeding your dog rice when they're older or sick. Now, when you're cooking for your dog, you want to make sure to add protein like turkey and vegetables and carrots and celery, parsley, pumpkin, and green beans to this rice. Just don't feed your dog rice. That's not healthy. You want to make sure that you cook the rice thoroughly and add a little bit of extra water or turkey bone broth to make the rice more moist and easier to digest, and it'll be more filling and it'll add more moisture to your dog's colon. You can add a small amount of rice to your dog's meal with protein. It's great for those dogs who are always hungry, that will scarf up something in 5 seconds. It gives them a little bit more to eat. It's a little bit more filling. Please, like I said, don't feed your dog too much rice because it can cause constipation or diarrhea. So the amount of rice added to its food should not be more than like 25% of the meal. You don't want to give your dog a meal just consisting of rice and a tiny bit of protein. The one good thing about rice too is rice is gluten-free. So this is also good for people who can't have gluten, because gluten exacerbates pain, it constipates, and it puts weight on animals and people. All rice, yes, all rice has some amount of arsenic in it. So you want to make sure to rinse the rice before you cook it. And please, if possible, make sure to use organic non-GMO rice. And once again, please make sure you're not giving your dog too much rice every day. So let's talk a little bit about white rice. In traditional Chinese medicine, also referred to as TCM, white rice is more cooling than brown rice. So it cools the body down, whereas brown rice is more warming, it's more hearty. And white rice is said to drain dampness out of the body. And what that means, without going into 3 hours of explaining dampness in the body via a traditional Chinese medicine explanation, it helps get rid of the wet dampness out of your body, usually by urination or sweating. Usually by urination, though. So white rice is great for dogs with loose stools because white rice helps to bind the stool. Too much white rice will cause constipation. This works for people too. If you have diarrhea, have a bowl of white rice. It's going to help. So white rice is really good for those dogs in the summer, even all year round. Those dogs that overheat, the overweight dogs, especially during the hot, humid weather, that they overheat, they don't do well, their arthritis is worse, they probably have stinky diarrhea or very loose stools. White rice, a little bit in your meal, is going to help them. Brown rice. Now, brown rice is heartier, especially for older dogs or sick dogs. It has more oomph to it. You know, you probably know yourself. You feel different if you've had a bowl of white rice versus brown rice. So brown rice is really good for colder weather and a dog who gets worse during cold weather. Maybe their arthritis is worse or their symptoms is worse or whatever they're ailing right now. Whatever they're fighting, the brown rice would be better than the white rice. And you can add a pinch of cinnamon to their food to warm the joints and ease the arthritic pain if it's cold and damp out. You don't want to do this in the summer because cinnamon is very warming. Brown rice also adds fiber to their diet, and especially if your dog is prone to constipation. If they are, then you can add a little bit of pumpkin and some turkey bone broth for nutrients and flavor. If you don't have time to cook rice, you can use a rice cooker. And I'm going to leave a couple recipes in the description below by using a rice cooker or a crock pot that I used for my dog Merlin, who was a German Shepherd who lived to be almost 15, and he was very ill at the end, so I used to cook for him every day. And I'll leave you that recipe along with a few other ones. To make that rice taste good, you can add a little bit of turkey bone broth for pets. Make sure not to use a bone broth made for humans, especially if it contains onions. Onions are toxic for dogs. And you can find turkey bone broth online or most pet shops. For more information on holistic pet services, barking Zoom consultations, online classes, and books for people and pets, visit the 4Paws Acupuncture website, 4pawsacupuncture.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a pawsome day.